So guys, welcome to our next video on network layer. Here today we'll be discussing about the IP addresses. Okay, IP addresses. So in the last session we had discussed what is an IP address. Okay, so here let us discuss what are the classes of IP addresses we have. We have actually 5 classes: A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, before discussing about the classes, I'd like to discuss something else about IP address. Why is this IP address important? Why is IP address important? See, consider you are the host. Okay, consider you are the host and there is a process running here. Okay, there is a process running here, and this is the Google server or any server for that matter, or any server for that matter. Okay, here this is DNS. You know DNS what it is? It is domain name systems. Okay, domain name systems. You are the host, right? You are the host, and Google, from which you are taking the data, which you are retrieving the data. Okay, it is the server, Google server, right? Now how will this Google server know to which network you are connected, and to which network it has to send the data? Okay, so because the Google should know your host ID, and it should also connect to your network, so plus network ID, right? So host ID is needed, network ID is needed for any information to be taken from any server. Okay, and this domain name system, see, you will have www.google.com. So using this domain name systems, we will get to know on which network your process is operating and how you are going to get the information. Okay, so that is why we need host ID plus network ID, which is why we always have IP address made up of network ID and your host ID. Okay, so when network ID and host ID, both of these IDs are necessary for IP addresses, we also have different classes to which IP addresses belong, which is important for us to know which network or which host is connected. So we'll discuss how many classes are there and what are the specifications of these classes. See, we have class A IP address, we have class B IP address, we have class C IP address, we have class D IP address, and we have class E IP address. See, initially I told you 2 to the power of 32 is the total number of IP addresses which you can form, which is why here when you come to see in the class A, what I have done is class A always starts from 0. Class A always starts from 0, and it can have many number of the rest of the values from 0 to 127. Okay, so 0 is reserved here, and whenever you get to know 0 it is starting from 0, then you can identify the IP address belongs to class A. Okay, so 0 to 127 it is reserved for class A, and then I extend it to 1 next. So what happens is it continues. So next process, what happens is it continues to go to class B. Okay, so as you can see, 128 and 129, the range between 128 and 191 belongs to class P. Therefore we have now left with, see, 0 and 1 are taken. Okay, now other bits can be of any values, either 0 or 1, but when you see first two zeros as to be 1 and 0, then it is said to be as class B addressing. Okay, and it follows. When it comes to class C, you can see we have seen most of the IP addresses in this range because it is very common used class. So 192 to 223. So when we see here 1 and 0 has been taken, next we have 110. So when you see any IP address starting from 110, then we get to know that it is a class C IP address, and it extends to 111. So here it becomes, since 3 bits are reserved, it is 2 to the power of 29. Okay, now next class D IP address is 224 to 239. So now we have three ones followed by 10. When this range comes into existence, then we get to know that it is a class D IP address. And similarly from 240 to 225 we will have your class E IP address, which will have 4 continuous ones, and it has to the power of 27 values. So I hope these classes are very clear, and for any gate examination or any other PSUs, these ranges you have to keep in mind these ranges to which class what range belongs to. Okay, so 0 to 127 is class A, 128 to 191 is class B, 192 to 223 it is class C, 224 to 239 it is class D, and 240 to 255 it is class E. So this is all about IP address and its classes. We will discuss each of the class in the further videos.